Hello everyone. Today we are going to look at what, how, why of distributed systems. This is the very fundamental or basis of the systems that we see today, which are distributed in nature, and it involves lot many concepts that need to be very clear for us to develop that understanding of how distributed systems function, what are their pros, what are their cons. So we'll look at all the prevalent terms that are there for a distributed system, and we'll also look at the journey of how we transition from RDBMS into the distributed world and why. So let's get started. What is a distributed system? So a distributed computer system is nothing but a collection of multiple computer systems together. To a user, it seems like a single integrated system, but internally those are multiple computer systems which are running multiple softwares and coordinating with each other. How this all began? Before the world of distributed computers, let us look at how it all started. So let's say we had an RDBMS where we were putting in data and reading it through sequels. Now for OLAP systems, reads were more than writes. So the first step that was taken was to scale the reads is to create replicas. So one single database was replicated and multiple copies were created so that the read operation could become parallel. Now the reads are happening in parallel, but the writes are still going to one system. There is a problem with this kind of a setup. What is that? So now since we have read replicas and we are replicating all the data that is getting written into all of those read replicas, there is definitely a problem in terms of latency. Depending on the number of replicas that are there, it will take some amount of time to replicate every write operation onto that replicas. So definitely now we introduce two problems. One is latency, the other is eventual consistency. Now what does that mean? Consistency is when I do a write operation and immediately I do a read operation, I get a consistent result. But since there are replicas and we have to write to each replica, we have introduced latency. That means consistency is also affected. If I do a write and I immediately do a read, I may not get the right response. The reason being, before it gets replicated to all the replicas, it is going to take some time. Hence, with this new arrangement, the ACID property that RDBMS provided us, out of that, the consistency is now gone. Let us now look at the writes. Since we have made replicas, the reads are parallel, but the writes are still going to one system. Now that's a problem. The next problem is to scale the writes. How do we scale the writes? So then there was a mechanism or a concept that was introduced called sharding. Whatever writes were happening, the entire data that was getting written was split horizontally, and each of the horizontal slice was put into a different system. So the writes also became distributed now. There are various ways in which sharding can be done. One of the ways is using a hash. So a hash is used on a shard key to decide how to split and which data goes on what node. But sharding effectively helped in scaling the writes. So till now we have introduced distributed reads, we have introduced distributed writes, and we have seen the problems that come along with this. Now with the distributed write also there is a problem, and that problem is of data skewness. Data skewness means if we do not select the shard key properly, then what will happen is we will see that majority of data is going to a single shard and maybe only little amount of data is going to the other shards. So that's data skewness, and that is going to affect the performance of our reads. So it's very important to select the shard key appropriately. Now let us talk about another very important concept for a distributed system, which is called replication. And why would we do that? The reason being, in a distributed setup, there are so many machines which are working together. One thing that is bound to happen is failure. So failure is a norm or an accepted thing in a distributed setup. What is the mechanism by which we can ensure that whatever data we are storing in a distributed setup is fault tolerant, or our entire setup is resilient? For that, replication was done. So each of the copy of data that we are putting on one node is getting replicated to n number of other nodes. And this concept is being followed in all the distributed system. So this replication or making copies of data is what is saving us from any kind of failure scenarios. Another thing that has changed from the RDBMS world to the distributed world is the way we model our data. In the distributed world, we talk about denormalization. We do not talk about normalized data. The reason being, if we have our data model in a normalized form, it will not be that efficient because now the systems are distributed, the data is spread across. So if we want to do joins, it will not be efficient because there is a lot of network traffic that is going to happen. Data has to be read from multiple machines. So that will not be efficient. Hence, the concept of denormalized data was introduced. Denormalization typically talks about keeping related data together at one place. It is a fundamental shift from how we used to have normalized data models in RDBMS, and it is best suited for a distributed system. Let's quickly recap what we saw today. So we looked at distributed reads, in that read replicas. Then we talked about distributed writes, sharding, then replication, data skewness, as well as denormalization. So that's all for today. But in the upcoming videos, we'll have a deeper look into CAP theorem, which is the fundamental basis of a distributed system. And we would also look at some of the architectures like peer-to-peer, master-slave that are present in the distributed systems world. I hope this video has helped you to understand the basic concepts. So please share and like and subscribe to the channel for many more interesting videos that are going to come up. Thank you so much.